in the red uniforms. The Louisville Cardinals going with the Muhammad Ali tribute uniforms. Very clean black and white. That's a uniform a lot of the teams have sported. And back to serve for the Yotes is Madison Juergens from Odell, Nebraska. Dilfer looks at the slide to Tillman.
So you know what? That is the one area that South Dakota decidedly won in their match yesterday. They outblocked Northern Kentucky 10-5. So they just got their first one of the match just now.
DeBeer. Go back to that well and off the tip.
That's what I meant. That's what she just said. Wait a minute. That's what I meant.
She had the penchant, did Tillman, of scoring early. Amaya from Topeka, Kansas was the ACC Defensive Player of the Year. Tori Dilfer back to serve, the setter of the year.
The modus operandi of the Louisville volleyball team is to go through the middles first. Any team wants to set up what they do well. You want to go through that first to get your rhythm going, right? Make sure everything's working. Get your rhythm going, and then you can get fancy. So make sure the middle's working first.
You see DeBeer, little back row attack. She sailed it a little bit. They'll go middle to Jones.
Oh my goodness! Iko taking over from the middle slot.
Two-team first-team All-ACC selection from Kingston, Jamaica, with the point guards even things up at 2. And Claire Chassé didn't play last night from Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, a senior outside hitter. Left side swing and a big block for the Cards.
Okay, so a block can do two things. A block can stop the ball from coming over the net and put it back into play, or a block can do that right there. Put it straight down where nobody has a chance to cover.
Nobody did it better in the NCAAs in 2020 than the Louisville Cardinals, and they get a point. Single block, a little different story. Nice swing by Claire Gertis, middle blocker from Cedar Falls, to even it at 3.
Claire doing a good job of stepping in for the missing Coyote, who is left home due to COVID. Oh, great job. Great job avoiding the block.
Dilfer goes left side. DeBeer with a tip. Coyotes keep it alive. Nice dig there on Junkie's attempt. And then it's Maddie Wiedenfeld from Omaha, Nebraska. Put that one away. You have to believe, Patty, there was a considerable amount of rust for this team because of that first weekend getting washed out. Emotionally, you key yourself up.
They not only didn't get to play, they practiced, they packed, they traveled to Colorado. Their fans and families traveled to Colorado, and then they weren't allowed to play. I mean, that's another level.
Yeah.
They had alumni make the trip, and then they were not allowed to play.
Leanne Williamson looking on as we have a service ace for the Cardinals. Williamson in her 8th season, a superior player at Wisconsin-Milwaukee. She's had 10 major conference award winners in her time here, making this Coyotes team a formidable one. She looks on. A nice swing there. And the Coyotes
South Dakota run in the middle.
A little differently than they did last night.
Yeah. They are slicing and dicing from the middle. That is great. Normally the tendency of the middle attacker when you're running left is to hit left. That was well done.
Really well placed too. Jump float, stumble by Iko Jones, and that distracted Claire Chassé, but the Cards are able to get a swing from DeBeer.
Land shark.
Chassé.
Great pass.
Jones.
It's going to be off.
Dilfer, quick middle. Wow. Anna Stevenson from Lawrence, South Carolina.
Let's see that again. Let's see this. Oh, she just nabbed that out. Everybody in the arena was waiting for that set to hit its peak, not the hitter. She snatched that out of the air and crushed it.
Second team All-American, played all 61 sets.
Oh, loving the energy on the sideline.
There's Iko Jones. Good serve. Free one for the Cards. Looking for the tip.
A little flourish from the line judge. Not
7-5
too sure what that meant.
I think they're saying it was in. No tip necessary.
That's when all the coaches are like, just serve quick. Oh, great dig.
Scott keeps it alive for DeVere.
Oh, bang.
Regional Freshman of the Year. 3-time ACC Player of the Week. All ACC Freshman and Freshman of the Year. First team All-League, the local product. Puts the Cards up now 8-5. Left side swing there. And that's Junkie, who had a big match last night despite the loss.
It's a big-time swing.
Junkie, a third-team All-American, Lakeville, Minnesota.
I want to point out that Elena Scott from Louisville Libero is wearing a thigh sleeve that she did not have on yesterday.
8-6, Louisville in the lead. Little joust there. The Dilfer wins.
Mine.
And Patty still got those good hands.
Oh, DeVere, take my ball.
I think she wants a dry one. Anna DeVere back to serve.
Really good juju on that.
3-time state champs with Assumption. Twice winning national championships in the club. Did we get a replay? It wasn't really that scintillating. Louisville slows down that attack.
Oh, great set. Dang, they were all over that.
So Sammy Slaughter, number 3 for the Coyotes there, combining with Wiedenfeld on the block.
Let me tell you what.
Won a national championship with Nebraska before transferring over.
Sammy Slaughter's listed as the player to watch. Watch how she is dialed in and meets the hitter at contact. They met at the ball.
That was an impressive block solo right there. The error is the first service error. That's coming with 10 in the 4-set match last night for the Coyotes.
I'd like to applaud both teams at the moment. The score is 10-7, and that is the first service error.
Typically early in the year, you'll see a few more of those. If we get an ace honor of Anna Stevenson, transfer from Auburn. She set the single-season record for blocks at Auburn. It was a nice addition to this Louisville roster as they take an 11-7 lead in set 1.
Wow, 2 in a row. Things you don't say out loud.
So, Patty, as we get a timeout here, when you look at a service, we'll step away and then we'll come back to that thought. ACC Network Extra, we'll be back after. Louisville with a 12-7 lead in set 1, forcing the timeout. We look at ACC teams in the top 25. Number 7, Pitt, a 3-0 start. Clean sheets for all 3 of those squads. Number 16, Georgia Tech. Interesting to note that since the Cardinals joined the ACC, they or Pitt have won 5 of the 6 titles in the league. So some Big East transferred power there, but 3 teams in the top 25 early for the league.
That's when the traditionalists are saying, who sent the invites? Who is that?
South Dakota picks up a point out of the timeout. Back to serve is Madison Juergens. 29 aces last year. Chaussee.
Oh, great block.
Boy, the block has been stellar for the Coyotes.
Yeah, you know, Missouri, last night's match, you would have thought prepped Louisville for this scenario, looking at a block, because Missouri known for their strong blocking, but they did not see what they're seeing right now.
Blocks were 8-1. Jones from the back with the tip, recovered, Slaughter. Jones keeps it alive, Dilfer the bump set to Chaussee. Cleaned up by the Yotes. Back row middle.
Oh, wow. Hammered from the back row.
Big swing from Junkie there. She was Summit League Freshman of the Year, a junior now.
South Dakota's leaving nothing on the floor. That's one of the things. I had a chance to sit down with Leanne, the head coach for South Dakota, during the match before this one. And she said, you know, they were a little disappointed. It was a great match when they played yesterday against Northern Kentucky. And she's like, they just feel like they left so much on the floor. There were so many long rallies, so many digs they didn't make. and they just felt like there were so many things left unsaid. Well, I think they're trying to make a statement right now.
They dominated set 1 with a 25-11 win. The 3 losses were pretty close.
Yep.
Scott with a back set to Chaussee. Good swing, but a nice job of keeping that alive by Wiedemann. Little out of sorts, almost amounts to a free one here.
Too wide.
Jones tries the cross court.
It was a really weird angle. She was far outside.
Didn't seem like the timing was quite there. Get a look again at Iko Jones.
Unless she could get higher, she had to take something off it.
Scott, good serve received there. Chaussee.
Ooh.
It's not how hard, it's where.
That was Chaussee. Can we make that a word? That was very Chaussee.
She Chausseed that.
She Chausseed that. It's tough to say.
It's a dance move too, right? Claire hails from Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. A Packers fan.
Oh boy.
Looked like we had a reach over there. Oh, back row block. So the overpass.
And now the setter's going to say she had nothing to do with that.
Chaussee with a 14-11 Louisville lead as we get another look. The fear of the overpass and trying to pull that one back. We may have a review request.
Are they're going to challenge?
And I believe they are going to take a look at it. Patty, we saw Anna Stevenson with a couple of service aces, and I want to get your thoughts because serving the volleyball, obviously pace
goes right where it's supposed to go.
So Chaussee with a little spin, and we're back at it, 15-11 in set 1.
Float hop. Oh.
It's hard to put good offense together when that first pass, the serve receive isn't in line, and that kind of was the fault there.
Yeah.
16-11 Louisville.
Nothing good happens when the attacker passes the ball. So you can see as soon as that ball is past your body's midline, you have no idea what's going on.
And sometimes when the setter's up, you can get a tough rotation.
Oh, still going. Nope.
I knew it wouldn't be long before I got to talk about food because it's one of the reasons I like volleyball. You get chicken wings and pancakes, but this right here is a huge block. Tillman and Jones combining on that right side.
I mean, that ball doesn't even have a chance of coming on the Louisville side of the court.
South Dakota down 17-11 will take their second timeout.
Best of 5. This match felt a breath away, and now it just took a quick turn.
Louisville Cardinals, in terms of kills, pretty balanced attack, especially the players on the floor right now. Junkie leads the way with 2 for the Coyotes. The hitting percentages are a bit dismal right now as far as expectations for this league and where everybody expected the ACC to line up in the preseason polls. The Pitt Panthers, obviously a team that's had its way with the league the last few years, but there you see the 3 ranked teams right there at the top. Notre Dame still continuing their transition. Florida State has been down maybe a little bit from what we're accustomed to. We have a lot of familiarity with that Syracuse squad, and they're off to a good start. And really the only team there with off to a bit of a rough start is NC State. Ironically, Linda Hampton-Keith, the volunteer assistant for the Louisville
right
Cardinals,
down the road there.
Was the head coach of that squad, and now she's the volunteer assistant for the Louisville Cardinals. But Patty, are there any surprises there? Obviously, you look at a lot of zeros. It's a good start so far.
I don't see a lot of surprises. I think a lot of those teams, especially near the top, are out looking for wins that will help RPIs. Especially if you look at Louisville in this tournament. Every team in this tournament is an NCAA team from last year. So that's exactly what you're looking for. You're looking for teams that will get you points to get you back in the NCAA tournament. Looking at Syracuse 5-0, Syracuse wasn't in the tournament last year, but their COVID scenario, it's a very international team, and their kids could not return to campus last year because of COVID situations. I think that team's going to be stacked, and I think they're going to be a huge threat. I think Pitt naturally is going to be a big threat to everybody, and I think Louisville Pitt is going to be, it's going to be down to the wire for everybody.
The Cards snapped their 37-match home win streak last year.
Oh.
Speaking of pancakes, a free one for the Yotes. Jurgens goes middle. And a nice swing there by Curtis. Good placement on some swings by both of these squads. 17-12.
South Dakota doing a good job out of their middle. Doing a very strong job.
If you listen to those that have wisdom like I do, you know that Patty Norton says the first one to 18 usually wins the set. And the Cards sitting at 17. We'll see what happens here. It is really easy for Maya Tillman to block, and boy, she is just so good and such a key part of this. She can affect a match without taking a single swing.
You know what, though? And it's almost like, did you do that on purpose? Because normally you want to just block it and shove it down, but there was a campfire of people directly below her hands.
And there's the block, not getting a point, but affecting a swing as Chaussee goes back row. Nice job there as Jondal keeps it alive. A free one for the Cards. Middle.
Oh, she's flying. She's flying right now.
There is some size and athleticism right there in Anna Stevenson.
She's gonna go up, and she's gonna go, oh, I see hands, I'll turn this way. Bam.
Gotta love it when you approach the middle and see a single block too. That's gotta be exciting.
Options. Oh, nicely done.
Great job keeping that one alive.
Did you see how angry she was? Stevenson's right shoulder opened up and just left that little bit of crease for the ball to come through on Louisville's side, and she is not happy about it.
Yeah, there's the reaction.
Her right hand told her left hand that will not be accepted.
Louisville serving up 19-13. And they tool the block on the right side, as that was Amy Adams from Breda, Iowa. She went to Kemper Catholic High School, the same high school that the Toronto Raptors head coach Nick Nurse attended, just north of Carroll, Iowa.
I learned so much when I sit next to you.
We try. It's student athletes. We try to impart some knowledge.
Push.
Great job keeping that one alive. Big swing on that right side by Junkie. But the Cards are able to capture their 20th point. Iko Jones will set as we get another look. The block continues to work for the Cards. Anna Stevenson there. Into the tape on the service error. 21-14 now. Re-entering is Sammy Slaughter. All-tournament selection. She was first-team All-State in Harrisburg, South Dakota in women's basketball and volleyball. Talented.
I'll tell you what, regardless of the score, this Coyote squad has not admitted anything yet. They are all in. Like, you watch every single face. They are, what do they call them?
Double hit right there.
Double on the set.
Dilfer has tried to go over on two twice and narrowly missed getting a point that first time. Aiden Bartlett, a new face, a 5'6" back row player from Leavenworth, Kansas. Back to serve. No pressure.
Yeah.
22-14. You see the Cards leading in set one.
Oh boy.
And an overpass.
Knew that was coming.
The reaction time's a lot slower, but it's almost like seeing a pitcher just leave a pitch up over the plate against a really talented hitter. And, the overpass is just a thing of nightmares for anybody up front. So Bartlett gets a point on the serve and then puts one into the tape for another service error. A couple of subs there for the Coyotes. Number 12, Brooklyn Schramm from Papillion, Nebraska.
She's a service sub. She's like a service specialist for them.
Southwest of the Omaha area.
And that's why it's an overpass.
And there's a joust there that Tori Dilfer wins. So Tori Dilfer at 5'11" gives you an advantage of some size at the center position. So set point.
Setters are always the most vigilant jousters, though.
Fans on their feet here at L&N Federal Credit Union Arena. Anna Stevenson with a couple of aces. Tries to put this first set away for the Cards.
Oh, nice swing.
Dilfer will go to Chaussee on the left. Great job keeping that alive.
And they call point. they're still playing. That's a ball game.
And that ball was down, and that is the set. 25-15, the Cards pick up set number 1. A talented set, an exciting one.
Sure, there are just some swings way out of bounds.
Elizabeth Junkie, who had 2 kills, had 5 errors, hitting -231. She was a big part of the offense last night for this squad with 15 kills to lead the squad. And for the Cards, Anna Stevenson, 5 kills, I should say, on 6 swings, 1 error, a .667, a rather boastful middle percentage. She accounted for 8 of the Cardinals' 18 points, and again 4-3 on the blocks. So the lineups are in as we get set for set 2. You get a look once again. That was Leanne Williamson having a chat, the down official making sure everybody's ready.
And, if you look at it's a varied attack for the Louisville Cardinals, pretty even across the board. But that's not all Tori's doing. That's a lot of overpasses. Half of those distribution efforts were by the other side of the net.
It's interesting, 19 kills between the 2 teams, and only 1 player had more than 2. And that was Stevenson, who led the way with 5. Yep. Tori Dilfer, Louisville setter.
The most efficient out there.
We're underway in set 2. Slaughter. Cards get a piece of that one.
Oh.
Not really a free ball, a joust.
Awkward.
This is a crazy point. That will come to a little better looking resolution than it was led to.
Erase that whole first rally. Start for real now. This whole thing was bizarre.
A lot of jousting at the net. South Dakota, though, does pick up the point. Chaussee. The slide right there and a swing by Amaya Tillman.
Wow.
State champs at Shawnee Heights in Topeka, Kansas. ACC All-Freshman in 2019. Number 2 in blocks per set in the nation as the ACC Defensive Player of the Year.
I can see that.
Chaussee.
Oh,
little shank there on the serve receive.
Nice hustle.
Good effort to keep it going, but a free one for the Cards.
Go middle.
Dug by the Yotes.
Libero owns it.
Jones.
She went past it.
Overpass. Anna DeBeer was kind on that one.
She was. She was like, excuse me. Excuse me.
The local product. And there's a great history of not only high school volleyball in the city of Louisville, but those players coming to the university.
Oh, boy.
Big block there. And Tillman, you feel like maybe it's a little more emotional than we've seen her in the past.
It's looking a little fun out there.
All by herself.
Yeah.
She doesn't need any help. And you can see Aiko Jones.
Yeah. Set teeter up. I looked like she might have had a couple more options to go some angles, but oh my goodness gracious.
Patty, it has to be so demoralizing because it doesn't seem to matter what they try, especially here in set 2 as they're down 4-1. That's
all Anna DeBeer.
Yeah, another block solo. Not bad when your outside's putting up the block.
Goodness.
Good receive there, back row swing.
That's a smart choice. That was a smart South Dakota choice right there. When you're getting eaten up in the plane of the net, you go to the back row because there's so many angles you can slice and dice through the block from back row.
Junkie all-region, first team all-Summit League. She led the league in kills per set in Lakeville, Minnesota.
Nice serve.
Slaughter, the Nebraska transfer. Left side to Beer. And that's in the upper deck. Not quite a foul ball. You don't get to keep the souvenir, but a nice play nonetheless. 5-2 as Elena Scott back to serve. Someone we haven't talked about. You teased that the libero is going to make some headlines, and
she had a great night last night. She had another one of those fun pancakes in the middle of the floor tonight. Another Louisville High School, Mercy High School and Mercy Academy in Louisville. Union Volleyball Club product.
A 4-time AAU All-American. Ironically, she does not wear number 2, which it seems like every back row player that comes from the city of Louisville, thanks to Sarah Drury, wears number 2. But I think what I've liked about what little I've seen of her so far this year is the composure.
I mentioned last night that she plays for a club that and was coached by Steph and Hoff. So Stephanie Marsh and Jennifer Hoffman. And like her most recent coach is Jennifer Hoffman, who never served receive a ball in her life. So funny.
One of the All-Americans up on the facade.
Yep. She's on the wall.
In 2005. And Steph Marsh she
the
play all 6.
The glue, baby.
She was from near the Quad Cities. And not a bad broadcaster. Both of them, as a matter of fact.
Oh. Easy picking.
Tried to change up, and it's not going to fool Anna Stevenson.
She did, Tillman did that yesterday, Stevenson did that yesterday, where it wasn't a matter of patience, it was a matter of hang time. So she just remained in the air.
A lot of length up front for this Cardinals team.
Oh, nice serve.
7-3, they lead it. And there's a good swing from Junkie. Regional Freshman of the Year a few years back. Junkie on that left side, right off the block as she tooled Dilfer's attempt to slow it down. Brooklyn Bolweg serving from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Back-to-back state champs during her high school days at Harrisburg High School. Kind of a modified slide with Stevenson there and a little miscommunication.
Yeah, too many cooks in the kitchen right there. There were 3 of them.
I got it, you got it. Madison Juergens from Odell, Nebraska, just south of Beatrice and Lincoln. And it will be DeBeer to serve. 8-4 Cardinals leading in set 2. 25-15 winners in set 1. And the towel relay is not as sharp as it is mid-season. That's why they're preseason.
Again, it looked aggressive.
Yeah. Throwing a towel is not easy. Again, South Dakota last weekend, ironically, they were supposed to play Colorado, Colorado State, and Northern Colorado.
That's a big-time swing. Big-time swing.
Slaughter checks back in. They were actually... Get another look at that. And again, number 6, Elizabeth Junkie, the go-to on this squad, as she is serving.
Junkie and Slaughter are keeping them in this.
Stevenson wins it. South Dakota was going to play a match in Greeley in the morning and a match in Fort Collins that evening. It's about 35 minutes between those 2 cities, but I don't know that I'd ever seen that before in the 3-match weekend. Of course, they were unable to. I only know this because I attended Colorado State, who actually played North Carolina last night in the ACC action. Tillman gets a hand on it. The Yotes try again with Junkie. Kept alive by Stevenson. Chassé.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Good reaction.
Reflexes on point.
Coach Williamson was saying that they were so excited they had for the trip to Colorado that they had a big alumni trip made up for it. And they all went out there and, they all went out there and they all wound up hanging out with all the parents. Like nobody's like, well, we're here.
Yeah.
We're going to have some fun.
I was concerned about their availability for this weekend.
Yeah, I know.
Certainly great to see them here.
Well, almost all of them.
Yes.
They're missing a player.
A little long on the serve there. Service error puts the Cards in double digits here in set 2. Tori Dilfer from Los Gatos, California.
It is important to note, you just saw that great little interaction between Coach Williamson and one of her players. That's one of her points is, we want to win. We're working really hard. We've been to the NCAA tournaments. We're doing our best to, run the Summit League, but we want to build it right. We want it to be, they've had, like you said, their records have been like 30-3 in the Summit League, but we want to build it right. They've been to the NCAA tournament. They are ready to crack the win column in the NCAA tournament. They want to build it right. They want to be the place where everybody goes. They have a great experience in college playing on this team, and they have a great experience coming back and cheering for their team. So that if they do have to travel to Colorado and the team doesn't get to play, they still have a good time hanging out with the families.
Got the chemistry part. Usually that's what you find on the road. The 14 starter or letter winners returning.
That's what she's working on.
All 7 starters back.
Yes.
The most interesting number I found is another service error is really making it rough to put this comeback together. In 2020, this squad was 8-1 on the road. And we mentioned when we talked about Leanne Williamson, as you get a look at the head coach of the Coyotes there, this program under her guidance, as Chaussee serves for the Cards, they have wins over Arkansas, Colorado University, Notre Dame, Oregon State, Rutgers, Cal. I don't know if that was Rich Feller's Cal team or not, and Iowa. And those are some impressive wins, no matter where you are. But a Summit League team to pick up that many prominent wins certainly puts some fear into the opponents, especially when they're as good as they are on the road. A little moisture off the floor. You know, it's interesting, the sport court that they used to have here in the arena changed for this new surface, and I don't even remember what the name of it is. It's a singular piece that's moved by putting air underneath it, but it has a really good look. Nice swing in the middle there for the Cards.
Point. And the Stevenson returns, number 10, Jaden John.
Scott back to serve.
Nice serve.
Left side is Adams. They'll get another crack at it. Junkie. Cross court, dug by Scott. Middle.
Back row. Whoa. Nice job.
When you have as many weapons as the Cardinals do, and as many things to think about, that back row can really be tough to deal with.
That was a good choice. That dig went a long way to get to Dilfer. That was a good choice.
We've got a timeout in South Dakota. 14-8, the Cards lead here in set 2. Back with more. Nice to have fans back. A nice crowd here this evening at L&N Federal Credit Union Arena on the campus of the University of Louisville, adhering to these safety guidelines and enjoying some volleyball between the South Dakota Coyotes and the Louisville Cardinals. And there's another fateful overpass that's punched home by Stevenson, who has her match-leading 8th kill.
Another free one.
It's almost like that can get in your head. Yeah. Don't overpass. Don't overpass. Yeah. Good receive here. Nice quick set.
Well done.
And a good swing right there from Bryn Paulman. Maple Lake, Minnesota, just northwest of the Twin Cities. Back-to-back state champs. In her high school days, she actually transferred from Missouri. She played some indoor and beach at Santa Clara. A freshman year, 4 matches for Missouri in 2019. Slide from Stevenson. Good job keeping that one alive.
That's tough to send down the line. Oh, my goodness.
Into the net. That's another point.
Jondal, such a good job at keeping that ball alive, and unfortunately her teammates can't finish it out. 16-9 Cards. All ACC in her first 2 seasons. Aiko Jones.
It's a great dig.
Chaussee in the back again.
Whew. Got a hot hand.
Just enough of that spin to keep it in the back line. And Chaussee swinging it well. Claire taking off behind that 10-foot line.
Well done. One more time, and DeBeer's going to be like, what about out here?
South Dakota.
So a timeout for South Dakota. We mentioned Aiko Jones. Took a look at her right there. She's one of those athletes that really benefited from a redshirt season. You know, there were players in front of her that were going to take more of the sets that she was going to get, the reps she was going to get, and she was going to benefit more from taking her time in biting camp, and led the nation in triple doubles her senior year in 07. That makes me feel awfully old. Yotes trying to get something going with Junkie.
Oh.
Kept alive by Jones,
nice,
but a little too much on it. Some rain is sweeping through the Ohio Valley, and therefore the humidity is up a notch or two, and we're seeing the residual effects.
Associate Coach Metzke is quick to the floor.
Dan Metzke in his 5th season, an accomplished player at Ohio State. 2 years as the head coach at Augustana, and spent 3 years at Nebraska with Danny Busboom Kelly, the head coach of the Cards.
Great pass. Oh my goodness. Knew something big was coming.
Impressive up there.
Knew something big was coming there too. Gosh, it's a perfect ball that's coming out of Elena Scott's delivery. And you could just do whatever you want with it.
Well, and for a setter,
a
setter can fall in love with that.
Yes.
That's probably their favorite thing to do, especially if they get to swing a little bit. And Katie George was pretty good at it. But when you're judicious, it's going to be successful more often than not.
Yes.
A little blessing from the tape there.
It's almost like when NFL quarterbacks take their offensive linemen out to steak dinners if they don't get, sacked for certain. Like, she's going to have to, cook a spaghetti dinner for her or something. There's got to be something that happens here. Because that is a very pretty ball. That you just breathe easier knowing the ball that's coming into your hands that you've got to distribute to your hitters or whatever you've got to do to it. You just feel so much better knowing the ball that's coming in is easy for you.
Well, and volleyball is one of the few sports where you can have a spectacular play that doesn't get any focus because it had nothing to do with the point, and that was an incredible job of getting that slide dug by the Coyotes. But unfortunately, they don't win the point, and now De Beer serves with a 19-10 advantage. The bump set here will be Junkie, but she sends it long. We kind of, out of the corner of the eye, you can see in the upper right-hand part of the monitor, the bench is having some fun.
We talked about that when we could see this during the serve. There's a little something different happening for each server. I wonder how they decide. I wonder if it's like a walk-up song. Oh, gosh.
I don't think Stevenson got as much of that as she wanted to, but that's her match-leading 9th kill on the overpass. Another look.
Oh my gosh.
She almost, that was like a punch.
Well, she kind of closed her fingers because you're afraid somebody's going to come up and try and do the same thing back at you, and you don't want to hurt your fingers.
Great serve.
Again.
Athletic tip by Junkie, but the Cards keep it alive, and now De Beer from the back row.
Great save.
Brilliant work there by Weideman. Left side, Chaussee. Kept alive. Back row De Beer.
Great choice.
De facto setter Aiko Jones. The roll from Chaussee is dug. And the block wins it.
Now, I was going to say, without the camera even going there, now I'm just watching the corner of the bench. So fun. So much fun.
And because of the additional year of eligibility, it's a host of kids over there.
Yes.
There we go. I wonder if these have to be named just in time for the error from De Beer. But 22-11, Cards in command, a 25-15 win in set 1. Re-entering Sammy Slaughter. 6 matches for the national champions in 17, national runner-up in 18 during her time with the Huskers. Danny Busboom Kelly will support the fact that is one of the storied programs of all of college volleyball, and that's a huge block there, as I think Slaughter got a piece of that one.
Okay, what I love ×2. Twice, Aiko's landed on her butt. Twice, she's been the first one to laugh.
Chaussee on the left.
Yeah, net violation.
Got tangled up.
Oh, I totally had that again.
Some subs for the Cards now. For the first time, we'll get a look at Brooke Smith as she is back to serve. Tillman re-enters in the front. Smith from Leo, Indiana, north of Fort Wayne.
And an ace right out of the gate.
You want to get excited and you're on the bench, let someone come off the bench and serve an ace. So here we are with set point at 24-12. And the fans once again on their feet here at L&N Federal Credit Union Arena. Junkie with a bump set. Slaughter.
Good patience.
A free one. Chaussee.
Oh my goodness gracious. That's how you do it.
And that one's long. The Cards pick up set number 2, 25-12. Set 3 coming up. We'll take a look at some highlights. Cards commanding lead 2-0, looking to extend their record to 5-0 for the first time since 28. With the job that she has done here. And that impact is certainly being felt. And despite the fact that it's been a little lopsided 15-12 through 2 sets, you can see with all these returning players how good this team is going to be when they hit their stride and they get fully healthy.
They're still working to get something out of tonight's match. Do you know what I mean? They have not folded up their tents at all. You know, one other stat we haven't even talked about at all is, and when I chatted with her earlier, she looks to get about 18 digs per set, and they haven't touched that. They got 18 digs through 2 sets, so she's not going to be happy with that stat so far.
So for the 3rd consecutive set, the Yotes open things up with their first point. Chaussé's had a nice match. Kept alive. A free one here for Louisville. Modified slide. A little change of pace from Tillman. So Tillman picks up her 4th kill. Stevenson leads the match with 9. Junkie has 7 to pace the Coyotes. And Tori Dilfer will serve as we get a little, as we mentioned earlier, residual moisture tended to. There was a time, I don't think it's as bad as it used to be, but mysteriously shoes would become untied frequently and the floor would need to be wiped frequently as a manner of stalling. There are coaches that put that in.
There are always certain coaches.
Yeah. I don't know that we see that as much as we used to, and obviously this is out of necessity.
Well, now there's TV timeouts and things of that nature. So
it's true.
Now there's video review.
Cards again with 5 aces. Good
Nice
swing here on the right side by Wiedenfield. Nice job keeping that alive with Slaughter. Here's Junkie.
Ooh, off the high hands.
So you can hit around the block, you can hit over the block, you can hit it through the block. It's tough to hit it over this block, but she powered that one through.
She went high through her hands. If you could, in that review, you could see it didn't get to Tillman's hands at all. It was all Eichel's hands.
Elizabeth Junkie, good serve. Chaussé will get a pretty good swing on it, but Slaughter stopped at the net. She'll take a full swing, stopped again.
Jones says, you get me once, not twice, and not 3 times.
So the Cardinals working with a roof. Pick up a block on consecutive swings, and this one counts.
Did a great job of finishing with her hands down and in, sending that ball where it can't be picked up.
Look at the duo right there, Tillman and Jones. Chaussé serving.
Oh,
Slaughter.
wow.
As a setter, Patty, how do you approach that? You've got your best swing on that side with Slaughter. You have Junkie as an option, but
you have to mix it up. They also like to swing from the back row. She should do an option where they slide behind right now. Check out De Beer as a blocker. Do that.
That is an excellent illustration right there. I'm thinking there's no way they set the left side again.
Yeah.
And sure enough, over on 2, and
Go
a nice
back.
play there by Madison Jurgens.
See what else you got.
That is a veteran
Check
setter right there.
all the other slots.
Actually, setter of the year in conference for both of these teams, as Jurgens was the setter of the year and ABCA All-Region with her first team All-Summit selection. Madison Jurgens, another player that benefited from a red shirt. State Player of the Year. She's majoring in kinesiology and sports science. I couldn't spell kinesiology in college. De Beer through the block.
Can you now?
Well, only because it's written down in front of me. Good look at De Beer.
Great job, high. So she went high hands and finished off. If you could see her hand finished out and to the left, making sure it went where it can't be picked up.
A little quicker set, too, makes it difficult for that second block to get over there. If you do the high lob set, that'll give the block an opportunity to set up.
To double up.
The timing becomes a little more difficult. Good look at the freshman libero. Middle,
they went to the back row. And it paid off.
That one spins out off the hand of Junkie. Again, leading the team in
they're
kills.
going to video review it.
Looks like Danny Busboom Kelly wants to take a look at that one. So we have another video review. Each coach has 3 challenges. And we'll rely on the expertise of Morgan and Bobby and the crew to get a good look at this one. Let's see what the result may be. 2-0 in favor of the Louisville Cardinals. 25-15 in set 1, 25-12 in set 2. The Cards have their hitting percentage up to .345. And now we're going to get a good look at the play in question. The back row swing and
to see if it lands. Ooh,
ruled out.
It's close.
The slide is always impressive in reverse.
See if it grabs that line.
How good is our crew?
I'm going to say that's in.
How good is our crew? I mean, come on.
I'm going to say that's in. I like the U.S. Open when they put the little shadow mark on the court.
Show where the ball hit?
Yeah. Play is reversed.
So we caught a little bit of the line, and the Cards
Louisville gets the point.
Will get the point out of that one. So that's Louisville 2 for 2 in terms of review results. And
how about that?
I think we need to give a little credit to the folks back at the old ABC because that was a great look.
In the stats, there's a little box for ACC TV. I'm writing it in right here. And they get a check, a little tick mark there.
Well done, crew.
One tick.
Scott with the serve.
Oh, that was a very nicely done.
Oh, wow. Boy, Louisville will have earned this point.
What a choice.
And off the block. What a play by the libero, Scott, to keep that alive.
That was just a crazy play all the way around.
DeBeer kind of got turned around, and just look at the composure here. Cards are in double digits now with the blocks. Amaya has 7. That won't count as a block, but it certainly interrupted their play. Mike showing off the hands. Patty ready as well.
Hands, Mike.
7-4 now the ledger. As you see Juergens back to serve for the Coyotes. Again, 7 starters back, 14 letter winners. Not quite at full strength this weekend. And playing their first volleyball of the season after a COVID pause last week. Here's Jones.
Oh, my goodness. You could feel that. Like, from where we're sitting, you could feel the power of that impact.
Well, and you could feel exactly where Aiko wanted to place that ball, too, because she saw that opening in the single block.
Goodness.
Great effort there on that.
Just to be able to hover in the air right there and then recoil and attack. So fun.
Not the first.
What a fun game.
Not the first Jamaican to suit up for the Cards. Alicia Brown. A name from the past.
Dr. Alicia Brown.
Yes. Back set, and Chassé keeps it alive. Here's DeBeer.
Oh.
Boy, Cards are cobbling together points with some flair. Nice back set. Wow. Little cross-court winner.
Nicely done.
Wow, that is explosive.
This is impressive.
Explosive leaping there. Good serve.
Oh,
overpass.
Boy. That was awkward.
Anna kind of frosted the cake with that one. Oh my goodness. Can the Cards recover?
What's up?
Scott sets up DeBeer and keeps it alive again. DeBeer.
Off speed.
Coyotes look to respond. Slaughter.
Going back.
Now Dilford. The slide. Kept alive.
That's a great dig. Under.
And
yeah,
Louisville.
you knew that was, she set that below the height of the net. You knew that was going to be an awkward and out of bounds situation.
Timeout, South Dakota.
That's
Elena Scott, one of the best plays of the match in that last sequence. We're going to step away and come back with more volleyball. Cards up 10-4. This is ACC Network Extra. Some entertaining volleyball here at L&N Federal Credit Union Arena. The fans are keyed up. Little Joker and the Thief ringing. And Aiko Jones back to serve for the Cards, leading 10-4 in this best of 5, a 2-0 set lead. Been some spectacular points, and there's the service ace for Aiko Jones, the 6th for the Cardinals.
You know, it's not fair when the person that's out blocking the opponent gets to serve an ace. Shouldn't be how it works.
18 aces last year.
Again.
So there
Going
it is,
your
Patty.
way.
It's not a hard serve.
Right.
The placement's good, but it's
when
that
it moves.
English.
When it moves, there's nothing you can do. You can't move. You can't. Yes, if it's gonna ricochet off you, it's gonna ricochet off you.
It's like a slider.
Oh boy.
Another overpass, and this time we've got a back row block
Yeah,
attempt.
center touched from back row.
If you are in the back row, you cannot block. You cannot swing unless you take off behind that 10-foot line.
South Dakota trying to help things out by adding more passers.
The setter in a 5-1 offense will rotate all the way around. Another overpass, another problem.
Goodness gracious.
You know, Patty, there were years where you see volleyball teams win the first 2 sets relatively easily, and then set 3 sometimes was a struggle because you just emotionally weren't there. Not seeing that at all from this Louisville team tonight or last night. Aiko Jones announces to the entire arena what happened on that serve before it happened.
So also on my stat sheet, that's a negative under Sean Moth. Right there. Sean Moth.
I'll wear
negative.
that one. I will wear that one. Service in.
Oof.
So back-to-back errors, each team exchanging them. And we'll have number 2, Aiden Bartlett. Leavenworth, Kansas, same high school that Melissa Etheridge attended, by the way.
Ooh, that's a fun one.
Also the actor that portrayed Les Nessman on WKRP in Cincinnati. His name is Richard Sanders. I didn't know that till I learned this. And Wayne Simeon. An interesting trio. Good serve. Better swing. Elizabeth Junkie continues to show why she's one of the top players, not only in the Summit League, but in the region and the nation.
Good job. They keep swinging.
And she really gets some torque on her arm with that swing, too. It is an active swing. Chaussee has to send it over, and it's long, and a little momentum here for the Yotes. 15-7, the little advantage. Libero Lolo Weideman from Center Point, Iowa, north of Cedar Rapids.
Dang.
Weideman with a great job keeping that alive. And begging for the touch, and they get it.
Down ref called touch.
That's kind of one of those, you're more likely to hear it than to see it.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the fact that Stevenson just kind of looked away, it's like the auto guilt.
We mentioned good serve.
Great
Her
pass.
50 aces led Summit in 2019 as Stevenson sends one wide. So 15-9. Interesting on this left side of the net, seeing some leadership and some vocal leadership from the Cardinals from the freshman libero. Great serve
Great
receive.
Pass.
Big block.
Great cover.
Nice up there by Jondal. Not quite the timing there they were hoping. Oh,
wow.
And a dagger.
Great spot.
Anna Stevenson with a change of pace. And she will exit in favor of Jamie Vassalou from Bloomington, Illinois. A level 8 gymnast in her youth. decided to focus on volleyball. She's a great story. Was one of the team managers, worked her way onto the squad, and that's a pretty good serve right there.
Oh, it's up.
Chaussee kept it alive, but unfortunately Dilfer couldn't get there in time.
South Dakota saying, we are not going anywhere.
Brooklyn Schramm, we mentioned, from Papillion, Nebraska. Home to the AAA Omaha Storm Chasers. I'm sure Bobby is well aware of that. The serving specialist, 13 matches, 33 sets last year, a sophomore. Career assist record at La Vista High School. And a service error. I guess I can wear that one too.
Yep.
Tori Dilfer will serve 17-10. Cards with a commanding lead. Dilfer doing a nice job orchestrating things with a lot of arrows in her quiver. Good swing by Junkie. Cards keep it alive. Jones sends over a free one. Juergens back to Junkie.
Oh, wow.
Bartlett keeps it alive. Nice job by Dilfer. And Tillman sends it across.
Oh! Coming rolling.
Off the
Out of
pin.
bounds.
I feel for the stat crew right there because so many things happen just now. I don't know how you keep track of it. It reminds me of when I've tried to do volleyball on the radio.
That, though, it went, it's over there.
The luxury of the images, as you see that
went
net
right
cam.
off the
antenna. Such a great look. The pin, the antenna, signifying out of bounds. Any ball that hits it is automatically out. Good look at Tori Dilfer. Transfer from Texas Christian University.
It's a great ball. Oh, wow, way to push it.
Nice job from Tillman to get a good swing.
Tillman did a great job of coming off the net and remaining open to Dilfer to be an option because that ball was off the net. Look at that. Just stayed open. She could have easily closed herself off and not been an option.
A sister that played volleyball at Notre Dame, Beach at Pepperdine. I think Lipscomb, another sister. And of course, if the name's familiar and you're a sports fan, her dad Trent spent 14 years in the NFL. Dilfer comes from a very athletic family. You get a look at Danny Busboom Kelly speaking to her team. Cards with a 19-10 advantage. 2 sets to none. Day 2 of the Cardinal Classic. As far as the card schedule, Patty alluded to it. Some heavy hitters coming up. Going to wrap things up with the Cardinal Classic tomorrow as they take on Northern Kentucky. I'm excited to be able to bring that one to you here on ACC Network Extra. And then there's a gauntlet there. Purdue on the 10th, and then at Xavier up the road in Cincinnati on September 11th. And then the Battle of Bluegrass on the U.
So it's a lot of regional action and a lot of national rankings.
Defending national champs will be here at L&N Federal Credit Union Arena. And then at Nebraska, one of the more storied programs is Danny Busboom Kelly. I think you could say that she's pretty well liked in Lincoln.
Gosh. She's like the prom queen of Nebraska. I don't think there's any better moniker than the prom queen of Nebraska.
3 Big 12 titles. She moved from setter to libero, winning a national title. She is as competitive as they come.
Yep.
And she could really play, and boy, she could
but
really
literally
coach.
Any role they needed in that program, on the court, on the sideline, anything. She did it, and she won at it.
Chaussee, big wind and a swinger.
But grew up there, went to high school there, went to college there, won national championships there, married a football player there. Come on.
Lane. Well, and we mentioned Sarah Drury earlier. They played together with Team USA.
Yep.
Oh, great serve there from Dilfer as we edge close to the Cards, closing this one out. 21-10. And the bench enjoys that one. South Dakota will put Kylan Seelock into the match speaking of Lincoln, from Lincoln, the freshman.
Switching the center.
Pius X High School.
Little center switch.
Cards have not strayed much from their heavy hitters, but Brooke Smith currently in the match with Bartlett. And there's a swing right there from Seelock. So right into the match. It's a good swing on it. Junkie back to serve. Slaughter checks back in for Jondal. Jondal from Clarion, Iowa, not far from Fort Dodge, or Fort Dodge, as they say.
I trust you. These are things I won't look up.
I know far too much about the state of Iowa. 21-11. Bartlett.
Nice pass. Oh my goodness.
Trying to regather Chaussee.
Ooh, great block.
And there's Seelock having an impact, I should say, right out of the gates.
Yeah.
What's the old coaching cliche?
Just,
When the bus stops, be ready.
Yep. When you get your name called.
21-12. Dilfer, not as many options, but it's Chaussee with a change of pace. And now DeBeer will re-enter. Chaussee into the back, serving with a 22-12 advantage. DeBeer with Tillman and Smith, joined by Dilfer, Scott, and Chaussee, who is long on the serve. I would say the aces to errors ratio pretty good for the Cards. I think we're sitting at 8-5 maybe. Brooklyn Bullweg into the match for the Coyotes. There's a look at Brooklyn. 22 matches last year on the back row. Smith, a little bit wide.
A little trickery. Doing a little cross play in the middle. She just went past it.
And a little short on the serve there. Puts it at 23-14.
Can't do that when you're single digits away from the end of the match.
So Maddie Wiedenfeld back in. The University of New
You're getting
Hampshire
a look at the
transfer.
young lady that all the little girls in Louisville are going to want to be.
Oh, yeah. Those number 2s may turn into number 19s.
I think so.
Chaussee can't quite get there. Good power swing through the block there. There we see Brooke Palman there, right through the middle, single block, and Stevenson could not handle it.
New South Dakota center on the floor, doing a good job for herself.
Chaussee acrobatically allows the service error, setting up match
called the
point
Matrix.
for the Cards.
I don't know if you've seen that move, the Matrix.
So the fans on their feet. Brooke Smith back to serve, looking for a sweep of the Coyotes. Left side, and Slaughter sends it wide, and the Cards pick up the point, set, and the match. 25-15, 25-12, 25-15. Louisville is 5-0 for the first time since 20.